unless you fall real early on. The doctor didn't let him do it. Well, and that's still wasn't a right to he's taking that.
No, you'd have to convince.
We're on air, Mayor.
Okay, let's get going.
Well,
Good evening, everyone,
did you do any good?
and thank you for coming to our council meeting this evening, and I'll call the meeting to order. And Allison, could we get a roll call, please?
Olson.
Here.
Sykes. Bessie Johnson. Here. Kellum.
Here.
Alex Johnson.
Here.
Coburn.
Here.
Canopa.
Here. Okay, and let's do pledge allegiance to the flag. Would you like to join us? I actually skipped that one first. Been a busy day. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right, this evening we got some scheduled business for 3 proclamations. And first one is Mental Health Month, May 2019. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, and whereas all people experience times of difficulty and stress in their lives, and whereas promotion and prevention are effective ways to reduce the burden of mental health conditions, and whereas there is a strong body of research that supports user-friendly tools that all people can access to better handle challenges and protect their health and well-being, and whereas mental health conditions are real and prevalent in our nation, and whereas with effective treatment, those individuals with mental health conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives. And whereas each business, school, government agency, faith-based organization, healthcare provider, veterans group, and community members have a responsibility to promote mental wellness and support prevention efforts. And whereas the Lynn County Mental Health Advisory Board is emphasizing that there is no health without mental health by being involved with public service announcements, health fairs, public speakers, and various trainings regarding mental health issues. Now, therefore, I, Sharon Canopa, Mayor of the City of Albany, do hereby proclaim May 2019 as Mental Health Month in Albany, Oregon, and I also call upon residents, governmental agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools in Albany to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health. The steps our residents can take to protect their mental health, and the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental health conditions. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Albany to be affixed this 24th day of April 2019. And with that proclamation, we have read this for several years, and we have Mr. Dick Knowles here that would like to maybe say a few words. He's been on the Lynn County Mental Health Advisory Board for many years, and yeah, great advocate.
Well, thank you for the invitation. I'm the chair of the Mental Health Advisory Board for Lynn County. I'm just coming by to drop off some table tents. Some of you have seen these before. Those of you who are new, working with the alcohol and drug folks, we've come up with table tents that talk about myths versus facts about mental health. Just as an example, if I get help for my mental health problem, people will think I'm weak. Common myth, and the actual facts are actually exactly the opposite. Asking for help is a sign of strength. There are 5 table tents in here, each of them a little bit different. We've also come up with magnets. These go on people's refrigerators typically. Folks are putting them in city halls, actually, as I've discovered. These are nice ways to just kind of remind you they have basically the same information, and then contact numbers, places that you can get a hold of. I think the most important thing I'm going to leave, if it's okay, I'm going to leave these on a desk. This is a flyer for mental health first aid. In this case, it's youth mental health first aid. They offer adults, actually veterans, They can polish it some for kids in just a school setting. There's a email and a phone number that you can call. These are offered throughout the year, and you can ask, they're free, you can ask to be part of them. I'd recommend them. We're averaging about 1,000 folks a year that sign up for these courses. So we're pushing over 3,000 folks in Lynn County over the last 3 years. Pretty impressive. We started with probably the wrong people. We started with the folks who are kind of the upper echelon of folks that are treating people. Somebody said, why aren't you coming to talk to the bus drivers who take the kids to school? And away we went. Fire departments, police departments, bus drivers. It's really caught on. It doesn't teach anybody how to be a counselor or psychologist. It just kind of helps. And I suspect some of you have run into people who take this. So I'll leave these here if it's okay.
Great.
I appreciate it. Any questions? I have many answers, but I do appreciate it. You guys do a good job. Albany is really focusing on mental health, has been for many years. Kind of cycles as things do, kids, suicides, veterans, and we try to broaden ourselves enough to take each of those things individually. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dick. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
Yes.
Okay, next proclamation is Global Love Day, May 1st, 2019. Whereas the Love Foundation Incorporated, a nonprofit organization, has announced Global Love Day to facilitate establishing love and peace on our planet. And whereas Global Love Day will establish a worldwide focus toward unconditionally loving each other as we love ourselves. And whereas we are one humanity on this planet, all life is interconnected and interdependent. All share in the universal bond of love. Love begins with self-acceptance and forgiveness. With respect and compassion, we embrace diversity, and together we make a difference through love. And whereas the Love Foundation Incorporated invites mankind to declare May 1st, 2019 as Global Love Day, a day of forgiveness and unconditional love. Global Love Day will act as a model for all of us to follow each and every day. Now therefore, I, Sharon Canopa, Mayor of the City of Albany, do hereby proclaim May 1st, 2019 as Global Love Day in Albany, Oregon, and invite all residents to observe this day, which honors the public cause for global love, world peace, and universal joy. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Albany to be affixed this 24th day of April 2019. Okay, and our next proclamation is Drinking Water Week, May 5th through 11th, 2019. Whereas water is our most valuable natural resource, and whereas only tap water delivers public health protection, fire protection, and support for our economy and the quality of life we enjoy. And whereas any measure of successful society, low mortality rates, economic growth and diversity, productivity, and public safety are in some way related to access to safe water. And whereas we all are stewards of the water infrastructure upon which future generations depend. And whereas each Albany citizen is called upon to help protect our source waters from pollution, to practice water conservation, and to get involved in local water issues by getting to know their water. Now therefore, I, Sharon Canopa, Mayor of the City of Albany, do hereby proclaim May 5th through 11th, 2019 as Drinking Water Week in Albany, and I also call upon all residents to protect, respect, and conserve this essential resource. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Albany to be affixed this 24th day of 2019. All right, thank you, folks, for listening to those proclamations.
Mayor, if I could add something about
Yeah.
Drinking Water Week?
Yes, you sure can.
It starts a little early this year. We're going to have a Drinking Water Expo as part of the Procession of Species and Earth Day on
good.
Saturday. This Saturday, there will be demonstrations of filtration, distribution, and a water taste test. We did this a couple of years ago. It was very popular. But this is a smaller version, but still a lot of fun. So I would invite people to attend that. We're also doing a coloring contest for children under the age of 10, and we announced this week that our annual water quality report is now available online.
Oh, good. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Marilyn.
So where's that going to be?
Right out here.
Right.
Yep.
Yep, Saturday,
Yeah.
in Farmers Market, too. Yeah. Okay, and it'll be for celebrating Arbor Day.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Next is business from the public. Is there anyone here this evening that would like to bring an item forward to the council? Sir? Yeah, did you? Yeah.
My name is Jackie Lindsay. I am here representing Engineered Construction Incorporated. We are starting a remodel at the Walmart here in Albany. And the majority of our work happens at night, and we understand you guys have a noise ordinance law. And we just want to see what we need to do, if there's any kind of special permit we need to obtain, or if anything we need to do just to minimize complaints and anything from the public.
Is his microphone on, I wonder?
I don't know if it, maybe,
It's on, you just need to get a little
Maybe
closer.
give it-
yeah.
Just bring it.
Sorry.
You can
You can
move in.
move the
That's
mic.
okay, yeah.
Is that better?
Probably a sign that says don't touch the mic.
So mostly it sounds like for the noise outside would be just more painting of the exterior?
Yes, and we have scissor lifts. They have an audible alarm so that people don't get around them, backup alarms, stuff like that.
Uh-huh. So is the whole 14 weeks going to be exterior, or just a shorter duration is the exterior work?
It's a shorter duration. The exterior paint will be painted during the day on the two sides in the back of the building. The front will have to be done at night because of customers and traffic. So that will be minimal. But every night we have 10 to 15 scissor lifts that come from Garden Center parking area into the building, right around 9 o'clock at night, Sunday night through Thursday morning.
So it's more the noise is the backup beeper?
Yes,
That's
correct.
what would be hearing, yeah. So, okay. And,
Mayor,
mhm.
as city councilor over there, I think she and I may have something to say about the stuff in the back. It should not be making noise. I mean, especially when you're talking about that kind of a duration. I mean, the 9 o'clock part is not so bad. It's that when you put them back, and you hear the squeak, 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 squeak. I mean, because there are houses within, well, it just goes over the ditch, and then there's their backyard in the back. The other side is commercial, it's no big deal. Or over toward, to the west,
Okay.
where the extension of the road goes out there.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be any big deal. But in the back, between the building and the ditch, well, if you're looking, if you come into their parking lot from Goldfish Farm Road, you see the face of it. In the back, there's all those houses. Yeah, there's a canal and then all those houses. So I wouldn't have a problem as long as you're not squealing at them at 2 o'clock in the morning or what, at a time when normally people are going to be asleep, because that backup alarm or the alarm anytime they're moving
Yes.
is going to wake them up. And you will get screams.
Okay. And that is the
Because
back
they'll
of
scream
the
at me
building?
and then I'll call and,
And I'll get called too.
Yeah.
And that is the rear of the building where the majority of the housing is at?
yes,
Yeah,
that's the only place the housing is.
Okay.
right. It's
I
just
mean,
that backup.
This
beeper.
side, the front side toward Highway 20,
Garden Center.
all that is not a problem.
Okay. I think we could make that work.
Yeah.
The only thing in the back that we'd have to do is paint, and we can do that during the day.
Yeah,
Have you
Can those be
contacted?
turned off, those horns?
those beeper things, those.
No, this is a safety
Illegal.
issue. It's a safety issue. You can't turn off those horns.
Yeah.
The alarms are there for a reason, to keep people alive.
Well,
I've looked at,
at
requested,
midnight, you need to warn people that you're backing up.
We're looking into having, unplugging those while we're outside and having a spotter with that piece of equipment. I'm not sure if that's legal or not just yet, so that might be an option for us too.
Oh, that'd be helpful. Yeah.
I've been on construction sites where they do not allow backup alarms, and he's exactly right. Then what OSHA says is, all right, you have to have a flag person or a person there watching so you don't back over somebody. So they've got some options in there.
Oh, that's good. Bessie?
Have you done any information flyers or talked to the neighbors there in that subdivision? Because that would be a big step to let them know what's going to happen so that they're not surprised, and that's when the calls start coming, is like, oh my God, no.
But wouldn't that be Walmart's responsibility to do that? Because they're the ones hiring the contractors to do that work.
Well, someone, you know,
Somebody does.
he could, yeah, just to make sure that the neighbors know what's happening, because if you're in the know and you know what's coming, you can accept.
No, I
the
agree.
lot.
I just think it's not their responsibility. I think it's Walmart's responsibility.
I can follow up with that. And
Okay, that'd
I'm
be
sure they
great.
could definitely do that.
Right.
That'd be
Either
great.
one, yeah. I think
Yeah.
the neighbors, if you do communicate it with them, I think that'd be helpful.
Okay.
It would help on our end, too.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah, we're more apt to get the complaints. But Jeff, do you remember when we did this for Lowe's and, well, Costco was years ago, but
Yeah, I think we
Did
did
we
one
have
for
to do a
Walmart
permit?
as well when it was being
There was
constructed.
okay.
We do so few of them, I don't remember what form it takes. It's municipal code language that we're working with, so I don't know if it's just an approval or if there's an actual permit we issue.
That's what we were discussing with the mayor. I think the last time for the Lowe's, we just did a council motion. I don't think there was a permit issued by the city staff for Lowe's anyway. That's when I was here, so I'm not.
Is that,
Yeah.
so I would, in that case, I would move that we allow ESI to work in the evening with noise happening on the
Front?
on the north side and
East and west.
the west side, and wherever else, if the backup alarms or the alarms on the equipment have been silenced by some legal method.
Okay.
That'd be great. I'd second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? And you're clear on that?
All right, thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Okay, wait just a second.
Thanks.
All those in favor say aye.
Sorry.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, you're good to go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Thanks for coming and asking.
Yes,
Yep,
thank you.
Thank you.
Always a good idea.
Okay, anyone else from, yes, Jeff?
Hi, I'm Jeff Heesacker. I live here in Albany, and I've been listening to the radio and a couple other things, and I thought this was a good idea for Albany, so we can start getting also a part of our mental health issues being resolved. Is we have a lodging problem here, not problem, but a lodging where people come, they show their ID, they're fingerprinted, and they get a card when they check in. I think that's normal at every motel and hotel in Albany. Is that correct? I'm not sure if
They're
that's.
not fingerprinted.
Not fingerprint? Okay.
that'd be-
But they have to show their ID when they check in.
I would
Okay.
presume.
They would have to show a
A picture ID. They would
A
have to
credit
show a
card,
picture
Not
not
ID.
necessarily a credit card.
Not sure a
Or
credit
not-
card, but
not
I'm saying a
an
picture
But a
ID.
credit card.
A picture ID. They have to show a picture ID if they're checking in to any place that
I think,
people do
I think-
lodging.
I think that what happens is they have to have a credit card so they can show
Yeah.
payment.
Oh,
And then.
Just
when
payment
they ask
only, I
for-
mean.
When they ask for the ID, it's to prove that the person on the credit card is actually who they say it is.
oh, okay. Well, I'm just looking out for safety, because we do have places of lodging that people come into, that people don't have ID, and I like to see those people ID'd before, if something happens, like in a lodging sense, because we don't have anything that shows or proves that anybody, that who they are in these places. And I think that would be a good idea if the city council could bring up a way of doing that, to make other people safe in our shelters. And that getting ID is one of the mental health things. If somebody has their own picture ID, I think it would make them feel much better or much more a part of the community. instead
So
of
Jeff, are you talking about at our hotels or the homeless shelter?
shelters, every place, where they can not necessarily keep track of everybody, but have somebody that has ID when they check in or of something.
To a home, it's two different things, a homeless shelter or a hotel?
Well, if they don't do it currently at the hotel when they check in, if somebody was paying cash, see, I don't know if they were paying cash, they would need to show
They
ID
don't-
also.
They still require a
A picture ID.
Yeah, I think
If you give out cash.
credit
say you
card.
got- No,
They
not
require a
not
credit
credit card.
card.
I'm talking about cash. If you got
Yeah. They
$150
require
cash
to
on
see a
you,
credit card.
they still need a credit card?
Yep.
Even though you have cash?
For incidents.
Well,
I don't know, Rebecca.
I'm not sure, but
Do you
what I'm
know?
saying is, if you pay cash, you're always, wherever I've gone, I've had to put
I know.
my picture ID down, so they know exactly who I am, or who's actually staying there. And so that's what I like to see is extended to our shelters and everything else, so we know who, or the person who is running the shelter knows who they are, because it could be wanted, it could be, something else could happen, something serious could happen at the shelters. I'm not talking just the shelters, but I'm talking about across the board in lodging, when people do put their money down, or wherever they lay their head in a group setting or something, so they can have some kind of means of IDing people
I think
at that
it's a good
point.
intent, Jeff, but I think that would be very hard to manage, because mostly if they do get a picture ID, they're not going to go through the process of doing a background check on somebody to make sure they're, a criminal or anything. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how they could be able to manage that. So, and then they might have a couple guests with them sharing a hotel room, which
Well, what
might
I'm
be
saying
hard,
is,
yeah.
it would help, would help the situation if, let's say, if a ruckus or something else broke out, then they could at least have something there to say who these people are,
Yeah.
instead of,
And
Excuse me,
most
Your Honor.
hotels have video cameras anyway. As people come in, if there was any kind of problem, they'd have a
yeah.
video camera.
But is that also extended to the shelters
Excuse-
too, that have the video
Yeah.
cameras for the people coming
I'm
in?
not sure, yeah.
Excuse me, Mayor. We have an attorney sitting next to us. What is your spin on this?
We have the right.
Well, I'm just looking out at the safety of everybody else that
No,
could be there.
I can see I think it's a well-intended idea, but like the mayor said, I think there's some challenges with it. Another challenge would be requiring people that go into a homeless shelter to have an ID. A lot of people that are homeless don't have ID, and that would be then a way that the shelter would have to turn them away, which then would put the city potentially into some jeopardy of not being able to enforce laws against people that are out committing crimes, because if they're homeless and they have nowhere to go, then the state of Oregon, actually the Ninth Circuit has held that they have to have somewhere to go, or else they can't be cited for camping and things like that. And if they don't have an ID, then they would be turned away from the shelter.
This would help that,
I-
not getting turned away if the shelters are coming to the.
Right, I'm just saying, but if they didn't have one.
Someplace to get the
Right.
ID. And what I'm thinking is.
It would have to be I'm assuming you're talking like a government-issued ID, right?
It could be a city ID, the city could,
I
You know.
don't think that's
That'd be hard to
constitutional.
Yeah. It would be challenging.
I don't know.
Yeah.
hard to
But,
Good ideas, but it'd be
but I'm just
challenging.
saying that it would help it if somebody, if somebody had that ID, so they can kind of grasp the situation of,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of
situation.
times, if you have for a hotel, for example, if you have an automobile, they ask you what type of car you have and the driver and the license number on your vehicle. And that's one way to help identify who was there. But at the same time, like the mayor said, you've got people that stay with them. They're not IDing everybody that goes in the hotel. If I went and checked in a hotel, they're not going to ID my wife and ID my kids and things like that. But so it makes it difficult. But I get your point.
I'm just trying to get to the
Yeah.
point where it's, because it would help eliminate some of the problem
Right.
that is out in the.
Okay, well, thank you, Jeff.
Okay, thanks.
Uh-huh. Yeah, thank you. Anyone else from business from the public? Okay, all right, thank you, folks. Council, you have an adoption of a consent calendar. This is C for 1, 2, 3, and 4, all on this page. So if there isn't any items that you would like to have pulled off for discussion, then I'll entertain a motion.
Move for adoption of the consent calendar.
Second.
Is there a second? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All right, we're on the next page. And this would be for award of a bid. And did you have anything to say on this one? Okay, yep, Stacy?
Yeah.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Staff is recommending that council award a bid to, where is it, excuse me? Kodiak Pacific Construction in the amount of $1,851,622. We are also requesting that council waive a minor bid irregularity that was identified in Kodiak's bid proposal. We received 6 bids in response to this project, ranging from the low bid up to $2.15 million. The minor bid irregularity that was identified, it's just a math error that reduces Kodiak's bid by $800 approximately. It didn't provide them any advantage over any of the other contractors. They were going to be the low bidder regardless of that math error. This project will include construction of street, storm, sewer, and water line improvements that will provide a connectivity between the new Somerset subdivision and the Draperville subdivision. The improvements are also being constructed in partnership with GAPS. It's going to help facilitate the Meadow Ridge Elementary School. The other benefit of the project that I know our facilities folks are happy about is extending the sewer main to the Draperville subdivision is going to allow us to abandon the Charlotte lift station. That lift station is one of the last vacuum prime lift stations in our inventory, and those end up, they're a pain, yes. Does council have any questions about the project?
No, it's nice to see that it's under budget, so, yeah, under estimate, so. Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, motion's been made to approve and a second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, Stacy.
Stacy, have you worked with this company before?
I haven't, but I know they've completed work at the airport.
Yeah, I've worked with them before. They're excellent.
Oh, great.
If I had my choice, I would have only worked with them my whole career. They were just
Oh, that's
a
good
great
news.
general contractor to work for.
That's good news.
Good news, yes. Oh, all right, thank you, Stacy. Okay, next is appointing Nolan Streitberger to the Traffic Safety Commission.
Move to appoint.
Second.
All right, any discussion?
I just have a comment.
Uh-huh.
I was reading his application, and it sounds like the Arts Commission would have been a better fit for him, but, so I'm hoping that would keep his application on file, because it seems like he would really be a good fit for that.
Right,
when
he's
it
a really
comes
good
up, you know,
artist.
But, any commission is good to start,
Yeah,
so.
there wasn't enough openings
Yes.
when he applied. We had a whole bunch of folks wanting on arts, but, and then so I reached out. I knew he really wanted to get involved in the committee.
You bet.
So reached out to see if he'd be interested in traffic safety. And traffic safety is not one as, as appealing as a lot as the others, but.
It can be an art.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You can make it pretty.
So, yeah, but, so no, I was pleased that he was going to. There was one other person that applied that I reached out to because there was the other opening, but I haven't heard back from him yet, too.
Well, this is good. I think it's
Yeah.
good.
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried. All right, thank you. And last, just business from the council. Bessie? Anything?
Well, and I'm sorry, I was a little bit slow on the uptake when Bill made the motion for
I was too
the
fast. It's my
consent
fault.
calendar. I actually had a question, let's see, it's number 3, about the improvements. It looks like there was a change order with ODOT, and they were supposed to have it done by March of 2019, but then I was kind of confused where they're actually, I think, done with it, or do they have more to do?
I'm
Because-
going to take a shot, and then you can come up if I mess it up.
Yeah, because
I
I'm
think all
thinking,
they have left are some ADA ramps, but the amendment's basically a housekeeping item. My memory is the polls for the lights took longer than anticipated to get, and so we weren't able to meet
Yeah.
that original date.
one of the concerns I had was, it was actually, they were supposed to be finished by March of 2019, and then we get it in April to change it and extend it, so,
Till December?
Yeah, it's only to the city's benefit.
well, yeah, but I'm thinking, was there any way that we could have gotten it before it expired?
I'm not
And
sure.
if they
Stacy would
didn't
have to answer that. I'm guessing, since it's just a housekeeping, if it would have been, to some degree, the project's moving forward at the pace as fast as it could, based on how fast the materials could get. And and ODOT were all in agreement on how things are progressing. I think it's an ODOT requirement that we go through this formal process to amend the agreement to make the date jive with what was happening on the ground. I don't know
Yeah,
that was
'cause-
something that
and
we were
that's okay.
interested
You don't
in
have to come up,
pursuing.
Stacy. My comment is, okay, but they're supposed to be done by March 19. If you have a contract with someone and they don't get it done in time, then, there's usually penalties involved. And so I thought, well, they didn't get done. Is there a penalty that they didn't get done? But then now we've got it in April, or we're going to extend it till December. So it's kind
would have been a
of
separate,
closing the door after the horse gets out.
Sure, and so this agreement would be separate from anything like liquidated damages that would be assessed to the contractor. That would have been identified in the construction contract.
So you guys know all of that and we don't, so thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I don't want to know all that, but thank you very much.
Anything
That's
else?
all I have.
Okay, Bill?
Jeff, was there an update on when they're going to adjust the manholes on Ellsworth and Lyons?
Yeah.
I think they were waiting for good weather or something.
Yeah, we were waiting on permits, which I believe we now have, and Stacy and I were just talking about schedule. Did you get an answer on schedule? Okay, so we got our permit approval from ODOT, which is what we were waiting on, and so now we have to go out and we've got our documents prepared to get quotes for the work.
Well, I thought the original contractor was going to do them.
No.
Wasn't part of their scope.
Correct, that was ODOT's project that did that paving. It wasn't. that
Oh,
wasn't
you're
our-
right, okay, and
wasn't
they
our
just had
contractor.
maintenance money and they couldn't afford to raise the manhole.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I still get asked.
Okay, that's it. I still have not figured out the manhole issue on that. I must have a smooth riding car because I have not noticed it.
I haven't had any problems, but I still get asked every week at church, well, when are they gonna do
Well, and
it?
I think you were with me, wasn't it, Bessie? We were trying to
Yeah,
find
we
where
were.
it was.
I mean,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
ones that we saw were off
Yeah.
the road and they were done.
I know, we couldn't figure it out.
2 or 3 of them on Lion Street there.
Gee,
Lion and Fourth is one of them.
Yeah.
I guess I keep my eyes on the road and don't worry about a manhole.
Well, maybe you're violating.
Now, wait a minute, if your eyes are on the road, you would see the manhole.
The central aisle.
Yeah, get your glasses checked.
Oh, they have been adjusted a lot lately. Okay, all right, Dick, anything?
No.
Okay, Rich?
Yeah. I was over at my sister's and they were talking about how cold it had been and there was more snow than it had ever been and yada, 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 yada. And I happen to think, the thermometer was invented in 1714 by Daniel Fahrenheit. So when someone says this is the coldest it's ever been, how would you know? I mean, we've had less than 200 years of knowing what the temperature is compared to, what, 4.5 billion years that this rock has been here, that's, you know, .000, you know. And so I just, I explained the irony to my sister, and she didn't get it. But,
It's just a conversation.
just a conversation that doesn't seem to want to permeate the modern-day structure of the news. Because we still get all these, oh gee, it's hotter or colder or whatever it is, or the global is warming, or it's cooling, or whatever it is, and there ain't no way that they're going to know. So that's my bit for today.
Okay, all right.
I'm tired.
No.
Really nothing. Just a lot of research I'm doing, so.
Yeah, okay, all right. And I didn't have anything this evening, but I think, Rebecca, did you have an answer on that question? Did you want to come forward? Did you want to come forward? Yeah. I was reading her mind that she wanted to say something.
Rebecca with the Albany Visitors Association, and I did send a message to Jacqueline Osborne, who is our sales manager for Comfort Inn and Holiday Inn Express. And she said they do ask for ID, not just to make sure that the bill is paid by the correct person, but also to deter any criminal activity. She believes that's pretty standard for our hotels. And then also, Laura Hawkins is our crime prevention specialist officer. She not only helps with CEPTED, which is crime prevention through environmental design, but she's also been working with our hotels on implementing policies that help deter criminal activity. So
good.
They're working together. We're kind of all a team that way. So
Excellent. Yep.
Good to know.
Thanks for the
Yep,
update.
you bet.
Okay.
Good information, so, yeah. So, thank you, Rebecca. Okay, Peter.
Yes, Mayor, a couple things. Today is Administrative Professionals Day, and the staff has quite a few administrative professionals on the staff, and Allison Lease over there is one of them. So I just wanted to note that and thank Allison.
Thank you.
This Saturday, our two young Southeast Asian leadership interns or fellows for this year will arrive, and David Gakey will pick them up at Portland. We have one from Thailand who's a landscape architect, and one from the Philippines who's a economic development specialist. And they'll be with us for about 4 weeks again. And then you may have gotten my email to you earlier today, letting you know that Kim Ledane has accepted our conditional offer for the position of Parks and Recreation Director. So we'll be able to formalize that as we finish the hiring process. And along with that, I wanted you to note that on June 26th, we'll have, in council meeting here, we'll have a chance to honor Ed Hodney as he retires. Okay.
Okay, all right. Anything else? Staff have anything? Okay. So our next meeting is going to be Monday, May 6th will be a work session, and the 8th will be a regular session. So thank you, folks, for attending. With that, we're adjourned.